disorder called Usher syndrome, which degenerates the nerves around the eye and causes for visibility to go to nothing. So this girl was diagnosed at 10, now is 13, and looking down the barrel of going blind. And there's really nothing that can be done. So her and her mom came up with this idea to create a bucket list, a visual bucket list of things to see before her sight passes. And what's awesome is that with the help of her community and her friends, her family, she's been able to tick off a lot of things off her bucket list. A couple things were seeing the Eiffel Tower, going to a cat cafe, and seeing a rainforest, which is awesome. So she's been able to do those things. She's got a couple more on her list. She wants to see the Vatican City, swim with some dolphins, and see Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Some people from Stranger Things have reached out. She was able to get some tickets to go see the prequel to the Shadow Show that's coming out. So just some really awesome example of a community and a family coming together to support somebody who's going through something really hard, and a teenager that will most guaranteedly lose their sight. It's a really cool idea and a wonderful example of humanity stepping up. Our second story comes to us today from Indiana, where there was a really cool story of online harassment. Well, not harassment, but just making fun. You know how the internet can be when you're looking at things. Well, there's this guy who has a truck. It's a Silverado. It's a 2000. His name is Mo. He lives in Indiana, and his truck really has seen better days. And Indiana doesn't require a inspection sticker. So this truck was, some people called it a Frankenstein. It was like bent in the middle and had all kinds of dents up and down, sounded like heck. And he worked at the Dollar Tree. So you know what? He wasn't really able to do some upgrades and get a new vehicle. So somebody observed all this kind of online poking fun at this truck and decided to flip it on its head. They started a crowdfunding to get this guy a new truck. And what's beautiful is, out of a bunch of people making fun of somebody else and their misfortune of having a really dented, busted up vehicle, but really his only form of transportation to get to work, said, you know what, let's see if we can get some people to give to this. So over 500 people gave. They raised $26,000. Just this last month, he went and bought a 2019 Silverado that looks like it's brand new. So how awesome. And it's really cool because it's online and people are able to see, hey, this was the impact of us doing what we did. But just a beautiful example, people doing what they can with what they have right where they're at. So if you feel like you're powerless, there's nothing you can do. Maybe you're at home and you can't go out much. This is a beautiful example of people who saw something online and were like, hey, I could do something. I could donate $5. I could send in 20, whatever that looked like. Over 500 people contributed and they came up with 26K. And really changed this guy's life. I mean, just don't know what the impact of that's going to be. Now, our health benefit today is something called a Mother Teresa effect. So when people see other people performing acts of kindness, there's a reaction on those other people that are just watching. Psychologists have observed the phenomenon. It's known as the Mother Teresa effect in a famous study where students watched a film about Mother Teresa. They were just watching a movie, caring for the sick. They saw a significant spike in the secretory immunoglobulin A, so SLGA, was found in their saliva. And SLGA is the body's first line of defense against respiratory infections and viruses. So I don't know if you know this, but this is like the biggest gateway we have for our body receiving sickness, illness, because these are the biggest, because we're breathing all the time. If you're alive, you're breathing. So this is the first line of defense. So we have specific antibodies that are in our body that are made to fight any intruders that come in through your nose and your mouth. So what's incredible is the people that were just watching acts of kindness in a movie, of all things. So anybody hating on Hallmark, just watching a movie, their body was actually producing better defenses to protect your body from getting sick. So it's just another example that our bodies are made, lined up, designed, evolved, however you want to look at it, to be compatible with acts of kindness, to be in line with sharing and observing and supporting acts of kindness. So there's your two stories today and our health benefit of being kind. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you are able to be radically kind to just one person. Be authentically yourself. Nobody can be you in your place. And just don't